everybody? It's another episode of the Build Different podcast. Very special guest today, as you can see, Chris Geliga. We had a lot of his pictures up on social media. He won the belt last year. So, what's been going on since you won the belt?
Took some time off. I did a little bit of scare acting at Halloween Horror Nights, so took some time off from training for that.
You didn't punch anybody there, did you?
No. Almost got punched a few times, but didn't punch anybody there, thankfully. Just been training hard, and now I got my next fight lined up for May 13th.
So what's happening on May 13th? Obviously, combat night, but who's your opponent, and what's the weight class and everything?
So I'll be fighting for the 145-pound belt for combat night. So I already have one organization's belt, and I'm trying to go for my next belt. His name is Romel Pryor, fighting out of 12 rounds of Ocala. Looking like somebody who has some good boxing, so got a good game plan against that, but yeah. Awesome.
So obviously being a Muay Thai, your first discipline is Muay Thai, right?
Yep.
So there's going to be, not to give away too much of the game plan, you're going to be utilizing a lot of those techniques to maybe eliminate some of the boxing, some of his hand work and everything, right?
Yep. I mean, at this point, you probably know I'm a southpaw fighter, so it's going to be who's going to be able to land their big shot. Is he going to be able to land his right hand, or am I going to be able to land my left kick, right? Whichever one is able to land their powerful shot is going to be the one who wins.
And there's something I think you did in the last fight, didn't you? I don't want to give it away in case you do it in this fight, but you had a sneaky game plan in the last fight, right?
I had a good game plan in terms of I knew my opponent was going to be very forward heavy with a lot of forward pressure. So the game plan was a lot of stick and move, fighting on the outside. This game plan is going to be a little bit different. I don't anticipate this opponent being as aggressive. I imagine this opponent's going to have very crisp boxing, so he's going to need to close the distance a little bit. So the game plan is going to be a little bit similar, but at the end of the day, a little bit different, especially with the size of the cage.
Okay. And so, say you capture this next belt, we're always thinking positive. When you get this belt, what's the next plan? Is it to go to another organization and take a belt? Or, there's a lot of scouts out there. UFC, is that you kind of hope somebody sees you and latches on? That's kind of the ultimate goal, right?
Right now, I'm mainly thinking like glory and one championship would definitely be more so where I'm aligned with right now as a Muay Thai fighter. UFC only has really MMA, and right now I'm not really working any of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But right now the game plan, we're gonna get Combat Night's belt, really see what kind of opens up from there, whether it be fighting for other organizations like CM Fights, XFN, stuff like that, or if Combat Night would be the best to continue down my career. Just depends, because Combat Night has recently started doing pro kickboxing as well. So it's one of those things where it might be more beneficial for me to keep fighting with Combat Night, so that way I can continue my kickboxing career. If that is the best option for me.
Yeah, I think what's cool about the amateurs is that you can kind of bounce from organization to organization. And any plans on defending that belt, or have you had any phone calls or any?
I had my last opponent and want that rematch. At the time, I wasn't really training, so I wasn't able to take that. We'll just kind of see whatever is the best option for me moving forward. We'll kind of go down that road.
Awesome. So, also too, is there any added pressure knowing that there's scouts in the crowd? You seem like a pretty, watching you fight, you seem like a pretty relaxed fighter. You're kind of thinking through what you need to do. You're not too focused on the opponent. You're not too focused on the crowd. It's pretty calm in atmosphere, seeing the scouts and everybody out there.
It doesn't really matter whether there's one person in the crowd or 1 million people in the crowd, right? It's all the same to me. At the end of the day, I'm in there locked in a cage with another person that's trying to take my head off, and I'm trying to take their head off. So the only real people that I'm truly thinking about and worried about is myself and my coaches that are trying to give me my advice that I need.
And then your long-term goals, obviously being a champion in one of those other organizations we talked about. Is there any thoughts as you continue to fill out, like you obviously, how old are you?
23.
23, you may fill out a little bit more. Is there any plans to go up in division?
For right now, no. I'm happy at 45. I had one fight at 155, and then I went right back down to 45. We'll stay at the 45 for right now. While I can still make the weight class, there's no real reason to move up for now.
Because I think one of your big advantages, you're pretty tall for 145, and so I think the reach advantage, and especially if you're throwing a lot of kicks, it's always good for you.
For sure. I have fought guys that are actually taller and longer than me. Not my last fight, the fight before that, I actually fought somebody that was taller than me. And I'm assuming this next opponent is going to be right at about my height, maybe an inch or two, either taller or shorter, but he's right at about my height. It's not going to be a massive size difference between myself and my opponent.
Question on fight night: are you going to bring that belt and be double champ and hold both belts up?
I don't think the organization I'll be fighting for will be too happy with that. So I might just keep it in my car, and then once I get that other belt, then maybe take some pictures with both belts. But in the cage, I don't see them letting me do that. I'm still amateur. Let me become a double champ in the pros, and then we'll start
do two belts then.
Yeah, we'll start calling shots and stuff like that.
So yeah, I guess tell people where they can find you and what what to look forward to on next Saturday night.
Yeah, next Saturday night, look for some healthy violence. Gonna be throwing a lot of kicks, throwing some nice elbows. I got some nice fun plans for that fight. In terms of social media, my Instagram is going to be DK_, and then it's going to be my last name, which is Geliga.
Yeah, and as always, thank you for letting us sponsor you. Thank you for representing the company well, getting the belt. Let's get that second belt on Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
Also, thanks for everything you've done, helping us with our company and our product. You've tested it out. He's one of the few that have actually used it, tested it out. You helped us in a meeting up in Atlanta. You threw some kicks, almost. Took me out with a few of them. He was going a little too hard, but yeah, thank you for all of that. And yeah, we look forward to Saturday night, and man, can't wait to see your hand raised with another belt. And I want to get that champ picture in the parking lot with two belts.
Sir.
That's gonna be dope. So, but yeah, thank you so much, and thank the audience for tuning in. Follow Chris. He gave you his socials. We'll link him in the bio, and also too, links to the fights. You guys tune in, come out, support, and enjoy the fights. Thank you.